Welcome, everybody. It is time to talk about April announcements. Can you believe April is here? Man, I'm so happy that it's here because that means um, rail fanning season, for me anyways, is going to start picking up. It's starting to get warmer. The days are getting longer. It's better for photography. And it also means that we've got a whole bunch of new products for you guys to look at. So today is pre-recorded. Why? Well, because right now, while you're watching in your workshop room, I am in Denver, Colorado. I'm actually probably right about now going to be getting ready to do a clinic with George Bogatalk at Soundtracks, and we're going to be hanging out at Model Railroad Supply in Denver, Colorado, doing a clinic on an Athearn Genesis -9 locomotive. So if you're in the area, stop on by. Love to see you. And also this weekend is the Rocky Mountain Train Show. That is the 1st and 2nd of April. But if you can't make it to that, keep an eye on our social media and you'll see where we're going next. So April is here. And again, since this is pre-recorded, don't have time for shout outs because you're not here yet. So I'm going to go through all of the April items that we're going to be showcasing this month. You have until Friday, April 28th to pre-order any of these items with your dealer. You also today, this is the great thing, is you also have today to pre-order anything that we talked about in March. So it's always a fun day because you can pre-order March and get a head start on April. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what we've got going on. Keep in mind, I will not go deep into each one of these subjects. We're just going to kind of go through and give you an idea of what's going on. And then subsequent Train Tuesdays, I'll go into more detail on all of these items. So let's get started. First up, SD60Es. It's been a while since we've offered these. About 2017 was the last time that we offered these. So we're going to be doing 3 in the earlier with the rounded cab windows. And we're also going to be doing the rectangular squared type windows. And we're going to offer the veterans unit again. That was a very popular model. And again, we'll talk about these in detail coming up on the first Train Tuesday of the month. We're also going to do some legendary liveries of the SD60Es. Now, these are Norfolk Southern only locomotives. So we're a little limited on what we can do for now. Now, maybe in the future that, some smaller railroads will snap these up from Norfolk Southern. But until then, we had to get a little creative. We kind of did our own heritage units for paint schemes that Norfolk Southern did not choose. You can see there we've got the CNJ, the Monon, and the Norfolk and Western. Now we're going to go over those details and all the features coming up on a Train Tuesday. Staying within Genesis, we're offering the 50-foot PCNF exterior plus boxcar. Neat run this time. We're offering 3 different road numbers for the early BNSF, the Circle Cross era. We're also offering 3 road numbers for Illinois Central as they appeared in the 90s. That's a cool boxcar. I definitely remember those here in Illinois. So if you're a modeler of the 1990s, you're going to want to pick up at least 2 of those. Also, we're going to do some Prime for Grime as well. These are the Golden West, former Golden West, but relettered for Denver Rio Grande Western. And we've got 3 different versions that you can see there. We'll talk about those in detail coming up on a Train Tuesday. Also, 1970s Nestle, Union Pacific, former Missouri Pacific cars, both in a new paint factory fresh paint scheme as well as a Prime for Grime, and then the original Missouri Pacific with the buzzsaw logo. Now we're going to talk Athearn a little bit, and we've got some great releases this month for Athearn. We've got the SD40T-2s. Now this time we picked some other different roads. Here is, I'm sorry, Denver Rio Grande fans, No disrespect, but we wanted to do some former Denver Rio Grande and the Union Pacific patch job, prime for grime. Sorry, SP fans, you're in the same boat. It's kind of a Union Pacific month for the SD40T-2s. Here's the Union Pacific former SP units also in the prime for grime. Now we are going to do Southern Pacific in the early 1980s paint scheme, so not the speed lettering, but the original font. And we're offering that in 3 different road numbers. Now, one thing I do want to point out on these SD40T-2s, you can get them with either straight DC or you can get them with the Economy Soundtracks decoder. Our guys had a little fun this month, and we introduced 2 legendary livery, Burlington Northern in the really cool Cascade Green. No, it never happened, but what if it had happened? I think we can all agree that Cascade Green actually looks pretty nice on those SD40T-2s. And Rio Grande guys, don't worry. We are definitely giving you some options as well. 3 different road numbers for Rio Grande fans. 1980s era. And then we found some neat short line stuff that we wanted to do this time too. This is the Chicago, Fort Wayne, and Eastern. Of course, this is part of the Genesee and Wyoming's short line group. This is how it appears in the 2000s. And then closer to my neck of the woods, and really interesting because I never thought I would see a tunnel motor in New England, but New England Central. Which is now part of the Genesee and Wyoming system. So New England Central has one of these guys. Mid-2000s is what we're looking at here. And I know a lot of you guys are big fans of the Genesee and Wyoming, so we've got a couple of different options for you this month. Once again, we'll go over those details, but they are available. We've got some prime for grime options as well as DC, or you can get the Economy Soundtracks sound decoder. Now, sticking with Athearn, we've got another run of the EMD F7A PHI diesel locomotives. We've got the Amtrak Surfliner. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably would be interested in one of those. This is a 1999 on up paint scheme, and check out the 2010 to 2011 paint scheme. That is really cool. These are available as DCC ready, or you can get them also with the Economy Soundtracks decoder. Here we've got the Amtrak California. We've got 2 road numbers for this one, 2014 on up. We've got some local favorites for you guys. We've got Sounder available in 2 road numbers. New Mexico Rail Runner, that's got a really cool, I've always liked that paint scheme. It's kind of a cool paint scheme. 2 different road numbers as well. And the Utah Front Runner, 2 different road numbers there as well. We did put a couple of months ago, we did a Metrolink setup here. One for 1994 on up, and then the other one for 1994 on up. Kind of a cool setup here. Again, legendary liveries, so they don't really exist, but why not? If you want to run those, you most definitely can. Now, N scale guys, don't worry. We didn't leave you guys out. We are doing these in N scale as well. We've got the Sounder, the New Mexico Rail Runner, and the Utah Front Runner. You too have the option of getting these as DC only, or you can get them with Economy DCC sound. You get a couple of legendary liveries from Metrolink. Staying within Athearn, we've got the 260 steam locomotive. These are really popular. We've done a lot of work on these, and we've done some improvements and refinements on these over the years so that they are much more reliable than older steam locomotives that have been modeled in HO. And we had a little bit of fun here. We stayed pretty prototypical for the most part, but there's a few here we took some liberties on. You know, these are great for typical modeling, or maybe you've got a tourist railroad or a museum or something of that nature on your layout. You can always run these on club layouts or modular layouts, because we are going to be offering these with passenger cars. So first up, we've got two numbers for the Santa Fe as it appeared in the 1910s to the 1940s. We've got Milwaukee Road again in two different road numbers. Here's the Main Central. Main Central, guys, pay attention. This is going to be a good month for you. Canadian Pacific, two different road numbers. Southern Pacific, kind of like a baby daylighter there. Two different road numbers for you. And then finally, Union Pacific, two different road numbers. So you can obviously run those by themselves, or you can run them with the heavyweights that we are also introducing this month for those railroads. Now, these are basically as they appeared in the 40s or 50s, depending on the prototype. Here you've got the Union Pacific as it appeared in 52, Southern Pacific in the 1940s, and so on. So we're offering these by themselves as well as a 3-pack. And those will all match the locomotives that we just talked about. Main Central fans, there you go. Milwaukee Road, Canadian Pacific, and Santa Fe round out the collection. You have the option of buying separately the baggage car, the coach, the RPO, and you can get the 3-pack, which is going to include the diner, the Pullman coach, and the observation. So you've got the makings of a really cool train. And like I said, even if you want to run these in modern times, you can say it's a tourist train or a museum train. Staying in with the Athearn HO, we're coming back with the 40-foot Youngstown door boxcar, 40-footers. And we've got a little bit of variety. We're staying mainly in the 40s to the 60s with this run. First up is Alaska Railroad for 1961 on up. 3 different road numbers. Bangor and Aroostook, 1954 in that very famous paint scheme. 3 different road numbers. Northern Pacific, 1941 on up. 3 different road numbers. The Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis Railway, 1954 on up. I bet you a lot of you guys didn't see that one coming. 3 road names for that. Pennsylvania Railroad, that's 1961 on up, 3 different road numbers. And FDP, I'm looking at my notes here, it looks like 1960s. 3 different road numbers. So there you have it. We're having some fun this month too with the Ford F850 pumper. Been a little bit since we've offered this. We wanted to do some fire engines, but we also wanted to have a little bit of fun with these. We actually did some railroad themed ones this time. These are appropriate from about 1955, 1975. Really, you can just leave it up to your own inspiration. But we did one for Union Pacific, Santa Fe, Southern Pacific, Great Northern, and Penn Central. Now, a lot of you guys have been going nuts over the Penguin Ginger Ale. And, you know, it's not really uncommon for a large factory to have their own fire department. That was kind of a thing at one time. So what if Penguin Ginger Ale had their own fire truck? Well, it might look like this. Having a little bit of fun with that, but definitely something that you might want to add to your fleet. Now, with the railroads, they have their own fire suppression equipment. Yes and no. Probably not as elaborate as this, but hey, you know what? It's your layout, your rules. Have fun with it. Here's another couple that we thought we'd do that would be kind of fun. Firehouse Diner. You know, this actually was inspired by a restaurant in South Dakota. And what they have done is they have parked old fire trucks along the highway to promote this restaurant. And so, you know what? You can use this as a billboard, similarly like they've done in real life with this restaurant in South Dakota. Likewise, the Ford fire truck. Now, definitely Ford, with its major plant, probably would have some type of fire suppression outside of just using the town's um, fire station. The other thing too is this could be something that could be put into a car show or display of some type on your layout. But we wanted to offer that because we thought, that's kind of neat. That's something we don't see. And here's one that got a lot of folks really excited at Amherst a couple of months ago. This is the Roundhouse EMD F7A diesel locomotives. This thing has been totally newly tooled. There's so many things that we're going to talk about on Train Tuesday. If you can't wait till the next Train Tuesday, go over to our YouTube channel and check out the video. It's the Athearn Extra 2.2. Myself and Janik had a special guest, Tony Cook, come on board. And not only did we talk about the lineage of this model, which goes all the way back to the mid-50s, by the way, and then talk about this model and all the improvements on it. So if you want to get a sneak peek on this guy, check that out. But let's talk about some of the road names first. You can't do an F unit without doing the Santa Fe. So we're doing two different road numbers of the Santa Fe 1950s era appearance. We're also doing the striking Southern Pacific paint scheme, two different road numbers. And of course, Union Pacific and that armor yellow, two different road numbers. Canadian Pacific, likewise, very beautiful paint scheme. 1950s era paint scheme, two different road numbers in this run. Now for a couple of surprises. We wanted to offer the Milwaukee Road, another really cool paint scheme. These passenger paint schemes of the days, the 40s and 50s, were just really striking. Two different road numbers. Main Central in the pine green and the multi-stripe. Two different road numbers. And for you guys that have been asking for it, we listened. A lot of guys at Amherst were asking for these. We are going to release these in undecorated. Now, these are undecorated models. You can get them with either the single headlight or the dual headlight. These are basically ready for you to customize. Now, the other thing is, even though they're Roundhouse, they don't have all the details molded on. So for you guys that are into kit bashing and detailing and custom painting, these are for you. We have basically made these so that the dimples are there for you to drill the holes that will accept the super detail parts, so you can add your own grab irons, lift rings, things of that nature, and then custom paint it to your specs. The other thing that was done is the body has been redesigned so that you can cut the skirting away, which was common practice after about the 1960s with the full-scale prototypes, and the body will still attach to the chassis with a set of screws, not just that tab like in the past. We're going to talk much more in depth about this great model in an upcoming Train Tuesday. But until then, these items here, you have until Friday, April 24th to place your pre-orders. And you're probably going to want to get at least one or two of these items this month. A lot of great items this month that we're going to be talking about in detail. So there you have it. There's everything that we've got for the month of April. If you are in the area and you want to check out what Athearn's working on, do stop by the booth. We're at the Rocky Mountain Train Show, section D2. Stop by the booth, say hi. I always like to see our fans up close and personal, and also want to show you what we're working on. Also, we've got the clinic tonight over at the Rocky Mountain Train Supply. Myself and George Bogatak will be showing you how to take an Athearn Genesis -9 and fine-tuning the sounds and the lights to your layout. If I don't see you at the clinic or the train show this weekend, I hope to see you in a future show. Until next time, everyone, this is the gateway to the weekend, so get ready for working on some model railroading this weekend. So with that being said, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and above all, high greens. Good afternoon, everyone. Take care.